Serbia will participate in their first World Cup finals as an independent nation after a successful qualification campaign which saw them win Group 7 ahead of much-fancied France. Having separated from Montenegro in 2006, this was Serbia's first attempt at World Cup qualification. Radi Antic's side began their campaign in September 2008 with a home win against the Faroe Islands. A 2-0 success hardly set pulses racing. It took an own goal after half an hour to break the deadlock. And even then, Serbia struggled to finish off their opponents. It wasn't until the Faroe Islands were reduced to 10 men that Serbia finally found a second goal through Nikola Zigic. 4 days later, Serbia faced their most difficult-looking game of the group, away to France. Serbia managed to hold the 1998 winners until the second half, but 2 goals in 10 minutes broke them. Thierry Henry and Nicolas Anelka the men on target. Serbia ensured a tense finish when Branislav Ivanovic headed in from a Bosko Jankovic corner, but they couldn't find an equaliser. So a win and a defeat in their opening 2 games for Serbia. There were 2 more qualifiers to negotiate in 2008, and they were to yield 6 more points. Returning to Belgrade, Serbia first faced the Lithuania side, who led the group after winning their opening 3 games. Serbia gave their best performance so far, winning 3-0. Branislav Ivanovic opened the scoring in the 6th minute. Serbia went into the break 2 goals to the good after Milos Krasic's first international goal. Nikola Zigic missed a second-half penalty, but made amends when he headed in Bosko Jankovic's cross to complete the scoring. 4 days later, Serbia made it back-to-back wins with a 3-1 success in Austria. That meant Serbia shared the lead at the top of Group 7 as 2008 came to a close. They'd amassed 9 points from their opening 4 games. Serbia claimed their 3rd straight win in their first qualifier of 2009 against Romania. Milan Jovanovic opened the scoring before Socha's own goal made it 2-0. Romania pulled the goal back, but the prolific Ivanovic again found the net to restore the 2-goal cushion. Romania scored again, but Serbia held out to claim an excellent 3-2 win, which meant the side were 3 points clear of Lithuania at the top of Group 7. And better still, favourites France were an unexpected 5 points adrift, though they had a game in hand. The return fixture against Austria in June 2009 was a tight affair, which was settled by Nenad Milias's 8th-minute penalty. Next up were the Faroe Islands away. Just like the first game, Serbia won 2-0 to tighten their grip on the top spot in Group 7 with just 3 games remaining. In September, France visited Belgrade. France had moved up to second in the group, so avoiding defeat was crucial for Serbia. They were given an early advantage when France goalkeeper Hugo Lloris was sent off just 9 minutes in. Nenad Milias scored the resultant penalty to give Serbia the lead, but they failed to add to the advantage, and France got a draw courtesy of Thierry Henry's equaliser. That meant Serbia held a 4-point advantage over France with 2 games left to play. A win against Romania in the penultimate fixture would secure qualification. The game proved to be a famous night in the short history of the Serbia national team. They gave a 5-star performance to confirm their place in South Africa. The home fans waited until the 37th minute for the first goal as Nikola Zigic headed home. Marko Pantelic's goal 5 minutes after the restart settled any lingering nerves, and late goals from Kuzmanovic and a Jovanovic brace put the seal on a fantastic win and an excellent campaign. The final game of the group ended in defeat as Lithuania beat Serbia 2-1, but that couldn't dampen the celebrations for Radi Antic and his team. They had made history and will participate as an independent nation in football's most prestigious tournament. They will also go to South Africa full of optimism after finishing above France. Slovakia will participate in their first ever World Cup finals after finishing top of European qualifying Group 3. Reformed in 1993 after spending the post-war era as part of the old Czechoslovakia, Slovakia have slowly been building a talented side. South Africa 2010 will be their chance to show the world they belong amongst the footballing elite. Having failed to qualify for the last 3 World Cups, few would have tipped Slovakia to make an impression on Group 3, but they made their intentions clear in their opening game. Northern Ireland visited Bratislava and left empty-handed after Slovakia claimed a 2-1 win. A frustrating first half ended goalless after Martin Jakubko had a goal ruled out. But Slovakia went in front just a minute after the restart when Martin Skrtel gave them the lead. Marek Hamsik added a second 20 minutes from time, meaning Jan Derich's late own goal proved inconsequential. 3 days later, Slovakia suffered their first defeat of the campaign, a 2-1 loss in Slovenia. The team's next game was a comfortable 3-1 win against perennial whipping boys San Marino, which set up the biggest game of the group so far, the visit of much-fancied Poland to Bratislava. The visitors came into the game unbeaten in Group 3 and looked set to extend that record when Ebi Smilaric gave them the lead 20 minutes from time. But with 5 minutes left, the match turned on its head as Stanislav Setsak scored twice in 60 seconds to give Slovakia the points that meant they ended 2008 top of Group 3. Slovakia's first qualifier of 2009 saw the team make the short trip to Prague to face the Czech Republic. The home side boasted a number of household names, but had got off to a slow start in their campaign. Slovakia took the lead 23 minutes in, when the impressive Setsak notched his third goal in as many games. That lead lasted just 7 minutes though, as Grigera quickly drew the hosts level. Once again, a late goal proved decisive for Slovakia. In the 83rd minute, Erik Jędrysik beat Petr Cech at the second time of asking to hand Slovakia their first win against their near neighbours since 1997. That win left Slovakia second in the group behind Northern Ireland, who had played 2 games more. Slovakia had amassed 12 points from their opening 5 fixtures, meaning they were a point behind the leaders and 2 clear of third-place Poland. The next 2 games yielded 4 points as San Marino were thumped 7-0 before a late Milan Baros equaliser denied Slovakia a second win against the Czech Republic. 3 qualifiers remained, the first of which would prove pivotal. Slovakia went into the clash with Northern Ireland knowing a win would cement their place at the top of Group 3. The prolific Stanislav Setsak found the net 15 minutes in, and midway through the second half, substitute Filip Holosko made an immediate impact, scoring 2 minutes after his introduction to seal the win. So a crucial 3 points gained then. It meant that just a point at home to Slovenia in the penultimate game of the campaign would ensure Slovakia's place in South Africa. But nerves got the better of the home side, who gave one of their poorest performances of the campaign and slipped to a 2-0 defeat. That meant Slovakia held a 2-point lead over Slovenia ahead of their final game. Slovenia's match in San Marino was always likely to yield 3 points. Slovakia faced a much tougher prospect though, a trip to a snow-covered Chorzów to take on Poland. It was Slovakia who adapted better to the treacherous conditions and claimed a historic 1-0 win after Gančarczyk put through his own net after just 4 minutes. A stoic defensive display kept the hosts at bay, and the final whistle was the cue for jubilant celebration as Slovakia were confirmed as winners of Group 3. Having proved their pedigree in qualifying, Slovakia are tipped by many to be a decent outside bet to reach the knockout stages in next summer's tournament. They will be hopeful of a favourable draw, but regardless of who they face, next summer will be a historic milestone in the history of Slovakian football as they compete in their first ever World Cup finals.